what you giving, don't the way you front, motherfuckers.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. This your host with the most, live from the West Coast, Professor Trynch. And once again, this is Trynch Talk Podcast. Welcome back to another show and another. Wow, we got some shit going on. Former President Trump indicted 30 counts of business fraud. Oh, man. He's about to go through some shit right now. Now, if you don't know what's going on, Trump did something that all people who have been in the underworld know you're not supposed to do. He bragged about getting away with something and built up enough hatred amongst people of power to where now they skimmed through the books. They went through every corner. They found every different type of way that they could say, booyah, we got him. They got him. Now, they got him to arrest him. Now, that's going to be one big show that is going to fulfill the hearts of people who feel somebody being in cuffs is misery, because in their mind, if they were in cuffs, that would be misery. And really, this is what it's really all about. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about it. Scamming. Scamming been going on for so long and so strong that is bleeding the world dry as far as people who really look at the economy. So now the number one thing that they can do now is say, you know what? This guy is the problem. This guy is the issue. This guy is officially going to be the catalyst of what is scamming. But even though it's going to be in one field. Now, let me explain to all you small fries. Once something goes on the TV, it is a war flag of what is to come. When they started doing when George Bush in the 90s held up that bag of crack, that was the war flag. And what came behind that was some ill shit. I was trying not to cuss, but it was some ill shit that came with it. If you are currently scamming, getting a lot of money, and you do not have a opt-out plan outside of, I'm going to go get a spot and I'm going to just leave the game alone, and you have no other way to legitimately make that same money, you are going to be what is going to be an example for not bleeding a civilization dry, because they're going to put the 10 on the 2. They're going to put a severe, they're going to put the 100 on the 0.5. So brace yourself, prepare yourself, go ahead and get out the game. This is an era where doing crime does not pay. How many summers are you going to have? All right, you shining one summer, another summer. You're not going to keep shining all these summers. At some point in life, you're going to have a down period. Now, depending on how you playing life while you up, and what you doing while you up, ergo, being on bullshit depends on how your bad times are going to be. Your bad times could just be, I'm working a job that I don't like my supervisor, or you could be, I don't like my cellmate. It's going to be up to you. I kind of don't have a perspective personally when it comes to Donald Trump. The one thing in all of Donald Trump's presidency, I almost said pregnancy, one of the things that he actually did every day for 4 years straight was make me laugh. I mean, that motherfucker said shit that, it was nothing short of a Doug Stanhope stand-up. Like, it was raw. Everything he said. I'm talking about, he disrespected everybody. And it was weird to say, but America's enemies. All of America's allies, he pissed off and rubbed them the wrong way. And the way that America rolls is, once you become president, you like the big homie, and all the senators and all the senators and and houses of representatives, all these people got to kind of just, they can't even talk shit behind your back because they don't know who's going to be in tune with it. So they got to roll with it all the way. And a lot of them people roll with it until they saw that guillotine coming. And then that's when they decided, you know what, fuck it, I can't do this no more. This ain't built for me. This ain't my life. You young dudes, young people, just get out of crime, period. Everybody's telling us it's going to be more confidential informants and people who just told on the prison yards than people who stayed strong and just rolled their time out. Eventually, the prison's just going to be filled with snitches and child molesters. I mean, it's seeming like that's where it's already heading now. Between those are the two hiding things that you see on TV. Them are the two things that are letting you know, like, this is what we're shining the light on. And sometimes it's best to not give fuck shit light. I want America to catch on to this. Stop giving the sucker stuff light. It goes away when you don't pay attention to it. A drunk person that's talking their head off and saying the worst obscenities of society, if everybody does not talk to them, eventually they go outside, smoke a cigarette, and about 2 to 3 parties later, they're talking like everybody else that has some sense. And that's coming from a person who was that drunk guy that was talking shit at one point. So these things, if you stop giving light to bigotry and really just start smashing on it, like, a lot of these things won't be going the way it's going. The reason why Trump became what he became to America is because all he did was 100% talk trash. And when they said, man, you can't even become president, he had enough paper to challenge it, and he had the ambition to follow it through. And that was the problem. Had they encouraged him from jump, like, you know what, you could be president. I love you, Trump. You know, you're the greatest guy ever. He probably would have said, I don't fuck with these dudes. These don't motivate me. Hatred motivates Trump. Hatred motivates this guy. The more you point at him and the more you throw middle fingers at him and the more people just were in pure agony of his existence, the more he got on that camera, the more he talked trash, and the more he literally said, you know what? I don't care what none of y'all got to say. Do something. And straight up, and then after he did that, shout out to Nancy Pelosi. She was pushing that knife the whole time, trying to get him up out of there. Like, but, you know, like her efforts, you know, they didn't go unsung. People saw what they were worth. But now, Trump, let me give you some advice, man. Don't drop the soap. And on to our next topic. Ja Morant, who they've been coming down on this young dude. They've been giving him all type of flack and talking all type of trash, telling him what he's doing right, what he's doing wrong. And when it's all said and done, it's a young dude with some money. It's a young dude with some money. And I heard Cameron say this on a podcast. On his podcast, he said he knows a 32-year-old man that if you give him $2 million, he's going to spend that within that year, or he's going to spend that in 2 months, like, and go crazy. Just imagine if you gave a 20-year-old $200 million. Now, let's be devil's advocate. You have LeBron James, who, when he came into the league, he wasn't getting caught up with no guns. He really centered himself around all the greats that were up and coming and that were current and that were from the past. And his respect level was up there so much to where all these doors, it was like the doors of a 80-foot office building, and every single door is open to him. Now, Ja Morant, he's got them same doors open to him, but he has what I'm going to call that AI swagger. When I see him, I see a younger version of Allen Iverson. I see Allen Iverson back out there, except they're coming down on him because he's doing what the young people are doing of today's time. Okay, he made a mistake. He flashed a burner. know what I'm saying? He's at the strip club where we all know, like, if you around some beautiful women and it's going and the visual is going down, the last thing you thinking about is a pistol in your hand or on your lap or anywhere on you. But young dudes go live. He's popping. Everybody knows him. He's shining. He got them gold grill. He got the diamonds. The wolves are looking. He's sending out a message like, look, I might be on the road, but I'm not slipping. I don't want to do nothing to none of y'all. So, hey, I got this on me. Because I don't want to do nothing to y'all in the underworld, but I know what's going on with y'all. Now, everybody says, oh, yeah, well, he comes from a good background. He got both of his parents. Now, I'm about to say this to y'all. It's time to cut those narratives out. I grew up in South Central. I grew up in LA. I've been up and down every street from the 10s to the 190s, and I can tell you there's a lot of people who come from good backgrounds who are just stronger than they have a certain umph to them, men and women, that they can't just do what society tells them. They become rebellious. And what do? They join the rebellious groups that are in that current society. So that is what it's all about. Everybody's going to have their rebellious error. Everybody's going to have their period. Everybody's going to have that period in life where they just feeling themselves. And then what happens is a lot of people feel themselves so much that their mistakes are seen by everybody. So let's not come down on him. He's a great basketball player. He's doing something for the game. He's showing that you can still make what you make and not be an L7 because he feels that's not what he is. When he squares all the way up in life, he's going to look back at that and he's going to say, at least I got some great stories to tell.
This is some bullshit.
Now, this is Professor's rant. In all these years of being a grown man and all these years of seeing people go through multiple scenarios when it comes to this dating thing, I can honestly say I ain't never in my life seen so many pie-back niggas than I've seen in this tricking era. Them words, it ain't tricking if you got it, was the worst thing ever. If you feel like you got your money up and now it's time for you to build your confidence up, you will be destroyed out here. The best times you build your confidence up, I'm going to be honest about it. If you don't have it from 13 to 25, you'll never have it. It'll be something false in you. It'll be something fake. If you are not that guy, then look, you're just not that guy. Yo, bitch is gonna get fucked in these streets, my mans. Just because you don't have it. The lesson you were supposed to learn, you learned it later in life, and the suckerness that you had from the times that you felt like you was popping and you was giving out all this money, that it don't exist no more. You're gonna go through a rough period in life. If you never had money before, and then you get a large amount of money, and that's the time you all of a sudden feel all this affection. Oh man, I'm sorry to say this. You was a weirdo. You was a weirdo, straight up. There's nothing that can be said about that. Confidence is something that comes not from financial experience. It comes from the experience of life, of how you take things, of how things come, how you take your rejection, how you take being accepted. All of these things all the way put together is what builds confidence. A lot of people during the pandemic had confidence. And now they are pointing missiles at the penitentiary trying to get in. Just so a bitch that don't even like them rubs their shoulder and pretends with them, and they both know that they pretended. They both know. And then they're waiting, and then when the idea, not the experience that lets them know that, hey, look, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of all the BS. I'm ready to pursue something better for myself, 100%. After all of that is all said and done, then they want to motherfucking be loved. You purchase love. You're going to have to forever purchase love. There's nothing that a woman's going to give you because she's going to see that hole in you. And that hole in you is what she will always see. And then what's going to happen? The nigga that's full as a bull, that nigga's going to come up. This is Professor Trynch, a Trynch Talk podcast. Don't get your bitch fucked out here, young people. Build your confidence up. Always be genuine. Always be you. And everything's going to come your way because that's just the way life goes. Peace. I was getting ready to leave, and I couldn't leave without saying this. It finally happened. It finally happened. The streets been waiting on this to happen. Everybody, the talk of the world, one of the most infamous tattletales ever. We don't say his name here at the Trenches, but I'm going to say it like this, man. Salute, salute, salute to the gentleman who put them hands and feet down on that goofy-ass motherfucker in LA Fitness. Let me go ahead and commentate it for you real quick. As one of the gentlemen standing there inside of LA Fitness, training. I don't know why, but that training obviously meant nothing. For as he called his friends that walked in, and with great glory in their eyes, they began to follow through. They put hands. They put feet. They put knees. They made sure his face touched the floors that were tiled and freshly mopped just for this oncoming war that he had coming towards him. But then as all of a sudden, you would think that these gentlemen rolled off into the sunset and put that work in, and everybody could feel that the real ones finally have won something in history, they are caught. We need to get a GoFundMe going up. We need to get a GoFundMe going up for these gentlemen. It's just so difficult watching these rats win out here. Why?